Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 13, Episode 49, overall 709 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership is the regional dealership in Guelph and has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969. And with the high gas prices nowadays, if you're looking for an EV vehicle, there's no better place than Barry Cullen Chevrolet in Guelph to check out their EV vehicles, along with the EV federal rebates as well. And Barry Cullen Chevrolet has been a proud sponsor and advertiser of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show for the past 3.5 years. I hope everyone's doing well on this long weekend here in Canada, the Victoria Day long weekend. And it looks like the weather is finally warming up. We're finally going to get temperatures in the 20s and 25s this weekend, a little bit of rain. So I want to wish everybody in Canada a happy Victoria Day long weekend, which concludes on the Monday. And I'm looking forward to my guest tonight. She's a friend of mine. She's a friend of the show's. It's her second appearance, and she is a two-time North Star wrestling champion, and she's also a wrestler out of Northlands Wrestling out of North Bay, Ontario, and she is a future WWE superstar, in my opinion. And I'm going to bring on the little maniac, the one and only Zondra Lee.
Hi.
Good evening, Zonya. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I did the applause, but I also did the boo too. For being a wrestler, sometimes you're the baby face, sometimes you're the heel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm used to both. It's okay.
Well, I want to say congratulations. It's been about 3 years since you've been on our show, August 6, 2023. But I want to say congratulations on 3 more years of wrestling success and being a 2-time North Star wrestling champion. What's that like?
It sucks that I lost it at one point, but hey, I got it back. So it doesn't matter. But no, it's always great. Like going up to Northland. It's nice visiting home, but it's always going to be, I guess, my hometown promotion. So it's always nice going back, and then I have a title around my waist, so it makes it even sweeter.
Do you have the belt with you on hand by any chance?
It's in the other room. I have 2 belts in there, but if I can go grab them if need be, but it is in the next room.
Okay, that would be cool. And that just shows you how successful you are. Hard work, determination, and passion pays off.
It does for sure.
And I already have a comment. A gentleman from YouTube is watching. Man Dog 2026. Hello, Zondra. You still got it.
Well, I would hope so. I'm only 20, so I would hope I still have it.
How much, Zondra, would you say you've improved and evolved as a wrestler since even coming on our show a couple years ago?
Not to toot my own horn, but I would say I've come a very long way. I don't like rewatching matches from back then, but I have recently, and I've come a long way, to say the least. It wasn't horrible, but I definitely think I'm a lot better now than what I was. I can see improvement in myself, which is I think that's an important thing, is when you can notice it by yourself without people pointing it out, and just seeing like, oh, I used to do this and now I'm all the way up here, you know? So I think a long way for sure.
A big part about being a pro wrestler, from my perspective, seeing it is confidence too. Obviously, you have to have the talent, the athleticism, and also you have to be an actor, an actress in a way. But you also have to be able to protect your protect your opponent in the ring too, without getting them hurt or yourself hurt.
Hmm. Yeah,
How
for sure.
much?
It takes a lot,
uh,
but
How much would you say your character has developed in the last couple years?
I've definitely put a lot more into my ring work and character work. I would say like the last 2 years. I was so focused on having a move set and an arsenal, which is important. Like, don't get that the wrong way. It's important to have move sets, but also the main thing, like, is storytelling. So that's something I've really been trying to work on the past bit, and I think I've been told by other like peers and other people I've worked with that I've gotten a lot better, and each match or each show I'm improving in it. So I would say I've definitely like gone up a step or two with that part of my career and my work.
What's your thoughts on your promos too? Because that's a big part of wrestling too, is cutting promos, whether you're a baby
So
face or a heel.
I would say my promos are pretty high up there. I mean, like, I don't want to sound too confident, but um yeah, I think my promo game is pretty good. I've never had somebody tell me that, oh, that wasn't a good one. Normally, I'll I'll get like a lot of comments on it, or like people messaging me is like, hey, like, I saw your most recent one, that was really good, or like, you've come a long way than like your other ones. So I think it's constantly improving. I can always get better for sure, but I don't think I'm at a bad place now in my promo game.
I grew up in the 70s and didn't start watching wrestling until 87 with Hulkamania and WrestleMania 3. And I find the 80s and 90s were the best decades for promos. Do you find the importance of promos is been reduced, or do you find promos in wrestling are still hugely important?
I think they're just as important now as they were. I don't think that's ever going to change, because the promos and when you're speaking and interacting with the crowd is what it's it's how you lock them in. It's how you bring viewers. So I don't think its importance has decreased at all. If anything, I think it's honestly increased. I find watching it, there's a lot more mic and character work than they do wrestling matches, which is like totally fine. Like, I just think it's definitely gotten a lot more in that. That's my opinion. So I don't know. I think it's, if anything, it's increased since back then.
And also with technology, you can cut promos from your own home or on the
Yeah.
road or in a hotel room. So there's so many ways of cutting promos now, instead of having to be in a wrestling arena or in a studio to do it like the old days.
Yeah, yeah, and like doing it that way too is also good practice for when you are in front of a live crowd, because it's a lot different. So like when you're doing the repetition of filming videos or hyping up an upcoming match, you kind of like have an idea of like how you want it to flow. So then when you're in front of a crowd, it makes it a little easier. At least that's what I find. Like, I will sometimes I'll even look in the mirror and just like start talking. And then it's like, it helps you bring out your character, I guess. Like, figure out how you form words and sentences of what you want to come across.
And with promos too, you don't want it really scripted. You want it really part of your character, playing a character
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you just talk and let it flow, and what comes out, and you go with it. That's that's kind
Be
of how I
yourself.
how I how I see it.
Be yourself. Be natural to your character.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah,
Mad
otherwise you're
Dog,
just gonna forget and then you're just gonna stumble and it's gonna be a mess. Like, don't do
and
that.
I already have a viewer question for you. Man Dog 2026 on YouTube has a question for you, Zondra. He wants to know, who do you look to as an inspiration in wrestling? Great question.
I've had the same answer probably since I started my career. Rhea Ripley, she has always been a role model, idol, somebody I look up to and glean from whenever I can. She's my girl, like absolute favorite. I love that girl. So Rhea Ripley.
Great answer. How much would you say Rhea Ripley's improved and evolved over the last 5 years?
I think that she's constantly been switching up and like they're giving her new things to work with all the time, like going from heel to face to tweener, just like she's taking anything they give her and running with it. So I think the constant changing and even just like the different match flow and working she's been doing has broadened her character and how like her I don't want to say value, but like what she brings to the company has increased. Like she's like not the top female wrestler, but she's one of the top wrestlers in the company. So I think she's skyrocketed, you know, like you can't get much bigger than her at this point.
If there's one female wrestler out there that you would like to face in the future besides Rhea Ripley, who would it be?
Like from anywhere, like on the indie
Yes,
scenes, like any
anywhere.
ooh. Oh, that's a good question. There are some like people on the indie scene who I haven't been able to work yet, who I would love to. Gabby Forza being one of them, like the Nomi. I don't know if you know her. She's from New York area. I would love to work with her one day. But if I could work with anybody aside from Rhea, that's a hard one. You know what? I really enjoyed Zoe Starks. I think she's so cool. And like again, like with Rhea, she's just so aggressive and just like will beat the hell out of you. So I think she would be another one I would love to be able to work one day. I know like I don't know exactly what she's doing right now. Like I know she's like she was just coming back from a knee injury, but like if she ever like when she gets back into it, yeah, that would be mm, definitely.
Zondra, what are your thoughts on indie wrestling? Do you find it's increasing these days, and there's more opportunities for indie wrestling in Canada specifically, and also the states where you wrestle as well?
I think wrestling right now is probably the best time to get into it. Like it's spiking so much, it's popular everywhere. So yeah, I think it's just gotten better and better as like the past 3-4 years it's like increased so much. So I think like if you're considering a time to get into wrestling, I would say right now like is the best time because it's blowing up everywhere. So I think indie wrestling, the televised whatever, it's all of it's doing great at this time.
Now, is there still a stereotype that if you're not very tall, you're short, that you shouldn't get into it, or that is that kind of like in the past now? It doesn't really matter your height; it's more a matter of your personality and your skills in the ring.
I mean, I guess it would depend on like I'm in the female division, like I'm a female, I'm not tall, I'm 5'3", I'm not tall at all. So I guess it would depend on which category you're in. And then it's also just what you bring into it. Like I wouldn't say there's a stereotype, but I will say if you are smaller, you have to work a lot harder and bring different things to the table. Otherwise, like to get over, to get noticed and to have people back you because, you're smaller. So you have to work harder to look like something in the ring.
What advice would you give to those people that are watching this show live stream or on audio that they're looking to get into the wrestling industry from your experiences?
Advice. Ooh. I would say if you've already started, definitely, because like I know like first starting out, I was so concerned about messing things up, which is a good thing to have, but like don't let that one mistake at that class bog you down. Like just take the critiques, take what you mess up and work on it. Like it's important, but it's not as important as you think. Like that one class is not going to determine the rest of your career, because that was something I struggled with all the time. It's like I messed up the drill and then I was focused on that and focused on that. And then it took and ruined my performance in other ones, so that it just kept piling on. And then talk to people, like ask for advice. Don't be scared to ask people who've been doing it longer than you, your teachers, your coaches, or even just other people in the classes who have been there longer. Ask for advice. Like I didn't really, I was a very shy person when I first started. So I didn't want to talk to people, and I felt like I was like the kid. Well, I was the kid, but like I was, I just stand in the corner and I do my stuff. I don't interact with people, but they're there to help you. That's exactly what everybody's doing. We're all supposed to help each other. So talk to people and ask for advice. And then if you're looking to get into it, just do it, because there's never going to be a perfect time. If you're looking for like the right time to do it, there's not going to be one. You're just going to keep pushing it off. So if you want to do it, go to a class as soon as you can. Like if there's not one today, go one Monday, Tuesday, whichever is the closest date, just go to it, because you're not gonna find a perfect time. So just start. That's all I could say.
Man Dog 2026, who's watching again on YouTube. Thanks, buddy. He has another question for you. As a strong, confident professional woman, do you embrace the idea of being an inspiration for young girls, or does it add pressure to you? Great question again.
Yeah, I definitely had interactions with little girls or teenagers who have come up to me and like they freak out almost with seeing me. So it's definitely that time, like that feeling that I get absolutely melts my heart. And then it's kind of a confidence boost almost, because it's like, oh, I'm for these girls what other wrestlers were for me. So it's like now I'm in that role. So does it add pressure? I wouldn't say so. I think it's more of an opportunity to do the best that I can to then be a better inspiration, or like, I guess, role model for them to like say like I was that kid in the crowd and I'm doing this now, you can too, or you can do something else that you were scared to. Like it is possible, because I was that little kid in the crowd as well. So I don't think it adds pressure. I think it's more of a challenge. That's how I like to look at it.
Zondra, do you see more females and diversity in indie wrestling specifically, even in the last couple of years?
I would say there has been a not a spike, but like a definite increase in it. I've like the school that I'm like popping into and like been training with the past few months, New Wave Wrestling in Toronto. It's run by Jody Threat. There's a lot of people from different backgrounds in there who are training and stuff. And trying to get into the business. So I would say there is definitely an increase, which is great, and you love to see it. Like as many people, as many women as you can get, honestly. So I would say that there has been increase in different backgrounds and nationalities. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on intergender wrestling? Have you done that match or matches yet with male wrestlers?
I have, yeah. I actually trained when I first started training. It was almost all guys, so I was used to it already. On shows like matches, I haven't had too many. I know like a lot of women have, but like I haven't had that many. I've had a few for sure. Like last weekend, I had an intergender tag match with Brantford Wrestling. I was against Sydney West and Shane Saber against myself and London Lightning. So I have done intergender. I think it's a fun little spin on things, and it's definitely a challenge for both you and the other person, because you have to learn how to work differently and with different body types and like just different pace levels. So I think it's a good thing to do. Should it be done all the time? No, I don't think so. But I also don't think it's a problem if it does, as long as like it's done properly. Because I've seen some where it's like this shouldn't even happen. But as long as both male and female are agreeing in it and um, can work properly, I think it can be some of the best wrestling you'll see. So I think it's definitely like I would love to do more of them if I get the chance to. Like I think it's a great growing experience for both people involved.
What are your thoughts on gimmick matches? Do you like gimmick matches or no?
So are we talking about like comedy or just like no disqualification matches, like weapons and stuff?
Or attack matches, like where there's
Oh,
tacks
okay.
on them?
Ooh, okay.
Like, yeah.
So yes, I honestly love that. I love no disqualifications. I love death, well, not death matches, but like um barbed wire thumbtacks. Like that excites me and I want to do it so bad. Like I want to go through thumbtacks at one point in my career. I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't had a match where that would has it's been allowed. But sorry, that's really bright. Um I have always been excited about that. So I'm 100% support it. I want to do it. The most I've done though is like ladder match. Well, I have done a few cage matches, which are
Wow.
amazing too. I loved it. Like when you in the cage and it closes on you. I don't know. I get excited. So I 100% support that for sure.
Yeah, because I know watching the WWE back in the '90s, they had a lot of gimmick matches as well,
They
and they even
did,
had
yes.
they even had a kiss my foot match between Bret Hart and Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, they were wilding back then.
They did a lot of things back then. I don't think they could do now.
No,
Back in the
not
'90s,
at
yeah.
all. No.
So, hey, I wanted to ask you this too. For somebody that's going to get into the wrestling business, would you recommend them tagging up with somebody first before going solo? Or do you feel that going solo would be better first and then tagging up with somebody at some point?
So I think that's different for like it's different for every individual. Like some people strictly just want to do tag team matches. Me, I never was really in like when I was younger, I always wanted a tag partner. I wanted to tag with my sister. But when I got into it, like I love having singles matches. That's I think my favorite. But there are like I do want to eventually get um either a tag partner or just like build like a little faction type thing. Get starting into it. Again, it's different for every person. I would say learning the ropes would be probably if you can find somebody who's more experienced than you, a tag team would be a great way to slowly go into that. But it's also because you always have somebody by you who you can ask advice from, but then it's also there's a lot more people in the ring that you have to worry about. Um, so I guess it's pick your poison, honestly. I think it's more of a personal decision.
Another question from Mandog 2026 on YouTube. He wants to ask you, Zondra, what is your vision for the U.S. market as your career moves forward?
Sorry, as my career moves forward, is that it?
Yeah. He wants to know what your vision is for the U.S. wrestling market as your career moves forward.
I would love to get out there more, like again, because I am from Canada, so it's hard to get into the US, like get on to the circuit and everything just because of where I am from. But over like the next few years, I would love to be able to actually stay there and for months at a time, or even like I want to end up living there. So at this point, it's just slowly figuring out the best way to make that happen. And like at the position and like the point that I am, it's not the easiest for me. So it's something that I have to work towards, but I want to be able to come and into the States and just build my career there.
If you had a choice between WWE and AEW, which one would you choose?
WWE. That's where I've always wanted to go. Um, if I got an opportunity to work with AEW, of course I would not turn that down at all. Like if they saw me and like reached out, like yes, 100%, I'll go with you. But if the goal, the end point is WWE, I wanna get there at some point.
As a baby face or a heel or an in-betweener, which is now popular?
Sorry, am I or
No, would you like to be go in there as a heel or a baby
oh
face or an in-betweener? Because nowadays you have characters that they're kind of on the heel side, but they're also good guys. I just wanted to
mhm.
get your thoughts.
I would honestly work with whatever it was they gave me, but if I could pick, it would be heel. That's what I love doing. It's what I'm comfortable as, passionate about. So if I could choose, it would be heel. But honestly, they could have me do whatever, and I would run with it. Like I'll take what I can get. You know.
Do you find being a heel is more fun than being the baby face?
I do. I do. Honestly. Like I enjoy babyface from time to time, but being a heel, I get excited when I do it because I can find ways to just poke at people and learn how the crowd ticks. That's my favorite part is just learning what I have to do to get you to hate me and love them. That's my job as a heel and I can as soon as I find what works, then I just poke and poke and I can get them going, you know? So I definitely have more fun as heel than face.
Can you mention about the importance of finding the right outfit for your character? And also, do you have a theme song music now?
Yeah. So first with the outfit with your gear, um you need it to go with how you want to be portrayed or what you're trying to portray. Like if you're like me, I like the more punk rock, emo, I guess. That's just me as a person in general. So it's really easy for me to just like kind of amp that up and then I go with that. So all of my outfits, all of my gear sets, they're not quiet. They're very like loud and they draw your eyes to it. So you couldn't have that and then come out with like uh rainbow and like frills and stuff. Like it doesn't work. So you need to find first who you are and how you want people to see you, and then you need to work on bringing that to life in how you present yourself and what you wear. And then for a theme song, I actually do because before I was coming out to Manifest by or what was it? Renegade by Manifest, yeah. And now I come out to it's called Psychosis. And I don't know, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, that is perfect for me. Um, who's Braden? Uh, I don't know his last name, but it's by Braden something. And it's any of like a lot of my promos has it playing at the end of it, or a lot of like my highlight reels, it has it playing. So I'm sure people have heard it if they watch my stuff, but the name of it is Psychosis. So if you look it up, it's the first one that pops up most of the time.
Because when you hear somebody's song, you identify with them right away. And it's a big part of the wrestling industry, in my opinion, even going back to the 80s.
hmm Yeah, that's like my favorite part. Like when it's like at companies that I've been to a lot, and my song plays, and you can just hear either them cheering or them booing, and it's like, you know who's coming out. You know me a little bit. So the theme song that is
Yeah.
important too, 100%. So find something that works for you, and then go with it and make people remember what you're coming out to, because when they hear that before they see you, if you can get that reaction already, you're doing it right.
They call it the pop. I was gonna say, besides your theme song and Rhea Ripley's, who are some of your favorite wrestlers' theme songs out there nowadays?
Okay, so I have a lot, but I was really upset when they changed Braun Breaker's theme song. I loved his one, and when he just came to like the main roster and NXT, and then when they changed it, I got so like I was so upset. I'm like, I loved his original. Io Sky, I really like. I think it's like the bass in that is just like that gets me excited. Um, who else? I like Sami Zayn's. I think it's just like when you can like sing along with the theme song. I think that's the funnest theme. So Sami Zayn, I just like the part where I can sing along to it. You know.
Seth
Um,
Rollins' song, he gets song. They sing
yeah,
to his
yeah,
song, Seth
his
Rollins.
too. I was definitely when I saw him on a live event. I was definitely doing that too. Um, I would say those are like the main ones that come to my head right now. There's like uh The Miz. I like his I like seeing that. It's on my Spotify playlist.
And you know what's
um
made the Miz so successful? It's not just his theme song, but his mic skills. So that's another thing too. Your in ring mic skills. He's just a great talker.
he is, yeah. He he can get it going every which way he wants it. So he's very good on the mic.
Now, Zondra, I'm going to put you on the spot with this question. Who have been some of your most difficult opponents inside the ring, especially defending your North Star Championship belt?
Ooh, probably the one who took it from me, Kat Von East. Yeah. Oof, she beat me like, scraping me off the mat with that one. Um, what did she call? I think it's Fallen Angel is what her finisher is called. I could be wrong. I'm very bad with move names, but yeah, that was not fun to take. I'll tell you that. And then Riley Rose, I would say, was the other one. We've trained together a few times, but we had never like stepped foot in the ring before that. So it was a match I was very excited about, and uh, I was underprepared, I think, because Riley Rose is amazing. So if you haven't seen her stuff, go look her up because she took me to my limit. I'm gonna say it right then, but she's definitely somebody I would love to work again. She didn't take my title, but she was very, very close to snatching it. But I would say, yeah, Kat and Riley were the two toughest that I've dealt with at Northland, anyways.
Speaking of Riley Rose, she's going to be one of the officials in your tag team match at Civil War. If you want to bring up Jacques Rougeau's Civil War.
Yeah, she is. So that match is all over the place. Like it's a tag team match. It's me, like myself and Chantel against Jessica Black and Heavy Rocks. I've never worked or wrestled Heavy Rocks, so there's a lot of unfamiliarity there. And then Chantel, I've never worked with her, whether it was facing each other or teaming up. So that will be a challenge there, but as long as we have the same goal in mind, we should be good. And then with Riley as the good old referee, I'm hoping, there's no bitterness there and we can call it straight down the middle. If not, well, we'll just have to work extra hard to make sure it's fair, you know? But no, it's definitely something I'm very excited about. It's their biggest show for GPW. There's so much going on, like so many amazing and high quality matches on that card, I think mine is going to be the best one. But um, but yeah, no, it's definitely something I'm excited about. That's on the 30th. I believe it's at Slush Puppy.
And got to know
Um, yeah, and yeah, I'm excited for it. Again, a lot of uncertainty with who's in it and how it's gonna play out, but it's something that if you are in the area, or even if you're not, it's worth the drive making it. So
I
I'm
really
excited about it.
I was really hoping to go, but I told Jacques if I can't go, I would buy a ticket, and if you can donate to somebody who can come, because you're going to have a lot of former WWE superstars and legends there, as well as the Rougeau brothers, Jacques and Raymond, as well, and obviously your match too.
Yeah, that's just so there's quite a bit that you can't really make an excuse for not to come. You don't like me, there's a problem, but there's got to be somebody there that you like. So make the effort to come out.
How did this all come about with Civil War in Gatineau, Quebec? And do you have to be there like maybe a couple days before just to go over what you want to do in the ring?
So I did a show with them in February, and they had reached out to me earlier for a show, and I couldn't make it. And then they sent me February, and then a few other ones asking if just for availability. So I think when I went out there the first time, it was kind of like almost a scouting thing, just to see potential and like what I can do, and then locked in for this one. And then obviously with Jacques, I know him from the Loot Academy. So there was also help there and an in with that. So I think it just like kind of happened. It just came together naturally, honestly, with me being in there and then going in. It's the I wasn't told that we have to be there anytime earlier. I think it's just a normal setup. Scenes may change and I may get more information closer to it. But as of this time, it's going to be the same, like same day type thing. But it could change at this point. It's just going as a normal one. So.
What's the biggest crowd that you've wrestled in front of so far?
It was either 600 or 700. I don't have a definite number. Oh, wait, no, I was in Michigan, and it was like 850 or 870. It was for like a UPW up there, Upstate Pro, for their big one. I think it's like Marquette Mania or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the name was, but it was like their WrestleMania. So there was around like 800, 850 there. So I would say that was probably the biggest one. And then I've had 600 crowds, and then like 700. So I would say like 850 is my biggest at this point.
Do you find it's more difficult to wrestle in front of a bigger crowd or a smaller audience?
I would say a smaller one for sure, because when it's I guess a psychological thing for them, because they're smaller, so it's like that energy isn't there, so they could be just shy or intimidated to make noise, and they feel like, oh, we have to be quiet. We're watching you, we're not making noise. So I would say it with anything, when you're around people who are loud and just excited, you get that too. So I would say being in front of a bigger audience is always better. Like smaller ones, definitely there's a more personal interaction with people, because it's like you're focusing on a smaller thing. But I would say the bigger the crowd, the more enjoyable it is for everybody, both in the ring and watching, just because there's so much more passion and energy there that it bubbles up and you get sucked in.
Mandog 2026 is watching on YouTube. He's got another question for you, Zondra. He wants to know, who would you like to face in a dream match and why?
Dream match is Rhea Ripley. Why? Because she's been a huge influence on me and just like a role model. She's my favorite person to watch. Like, she's kind of what got me back into watching WWE. And kind of like what got me super excited about watching not wrestling, but like the getting back into watching the WWE. So her would be absolute dream match in whatever capacity I could get that to happen. She would definitely be the top of my list.
Have you tried her finishing maneuver, the Riptide, in the ring yet?
So I have. I was trying to so I really love it. And I was trying to figure out like different ways that could possibly get into it, or like different transitions. And then I've never like used it in a match. Like I've tried it in like training and stuff. Would I ever use it? I think probably at some point, but at this point I'm not going to, just cuz it's, that's her move. I don't want to take it type thing, but it's fun. Like, I've spent so much time like figuring out like different transitions that I can get into her finisher. So I'm like, if it ever happens, maybe I can figure out a way to get out of it, or, put it on her. So I've never done it in a match though. Never.
What is the name of your finishing maneuver, and do you have any plans to do submission holds in the future?
Yeah, so I've had names thrown at me to like make it my own name. But right now my finisher is the Future Shock DDT. It's like the double underhook, Drew McIntyre's.
Okay.
He does this, yeah, I do it a little different than he does, but that's like the best way to describe it. I've had it like pitched to me that, oh, you should call it the ZDT or something else. Like, I've never really had a name for it, just because, yeah, I never really thought of it. I had names for other finishers, but this one is like, everybody knows it's a DDT. I don't need to confuse them with what I call it. And then finishers, I have, submissions. I do like to play around with like different things. I don't use them too much in my matches, but I've really started liking the camel clutch. I don't know why. I started doing that a lot more in my matches. And then how I won my first match was Texas Cloverleaf. So submissions aren't foreign to me. I do use them. It's just not as much as like power or slams or stuff. But it's definitely something that I'm looking more into, because it's like, oh, it's kind of cool how I can manipulate the body almost. So it's definitely something that I'm more looking into and like practicing more.
I think it's a better way of beating your opponent is by making them quit, making them submit.
It's like, it's salt in the wound.
Don't get me wrong, the 1-2-3 is nice, but to me, it's like the submission. I'm a big fan of submission holds.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So Andrea, are you still good with time? Because I'd like to play a little clip of a match between you and Shiloh from
absolutely.
County Wrestling. And while we play the video clip, maybe you might be able to get one or two of your belts to show our audience when the video's done.
Absolutely, I can go do that.
I'm always thinking ahead. I'm just like Paul Heyman.
You're a savage.
Just kidding. 1 second. We're going to play this clip right now of one of your matches between Shiloh and Zondra Lee from Norfolk County Wrestling.
Of the NCCW Tournament. Now I'm going to get into how silly it is that they're bothering with this little tournament, because everybody knows that I'm taking home gold. But I do have the opportunity to welcome somebody new. Zondra Lee, feeling brave? Looking forward to welcoming you to NCCW in the only way that I know how.
Right now?
Right now, here we go, yeah.
Wow, there's Ken. Yeah, we do have a referee out here.
What Shiloh says goes, I guess. I mean, this match is
Unbelievable.
getting underway.
Are we now? Now here's the question.
She is the little back.
The question I have is, does Kyle Boone get to stay out here for this?
I'm sure if Kyle has his way, he'll be in the corner for his love. But the young 19-year-old little manic, Zondra Lee, making a debut here at NCCW. And these two ladies are kind of familiar with each other, Sean.
Certainly they've wrestled before, but not here in NCCW. Shiloh says that she's...
Kyle deciding it's his turn to try.
Kyle, this is a terrible idea.
Hey, you might want to make sure those spots are good for your title match, because I promise you hit the splits is not going to make you prepared.
No, that's not going to help. You know, Zondra's only 19. She's a four-year pro, but she didn't see that coming.
Immediately getting underway. Shiloh sneaking up from behind to attack the Zondra Lee.
Right in front of us. That was brutal and violent.
That shook our table. That impact shook our commentary.
That was scary.
Shiloh has been a day one member of the NCCW roster, as well as Kyle Boone. And what a way to have an introduction as a little slap and tickle.
That is a disturbing way to describe what's happening here. What's wrong with you?
Arm drag by Zondra. Hip toss by Zondra. And while Zondra, you said 4 years experience, that means she started wrestling, if my math is correct, and please double check me on that. 15 years old to start wrestling?
Absolutely.
I couldn't tell you what I was doing at 15 years old. Not wrestling.
No, certainly not. But Zondra's the underdog in this tournament, right? She comes in with the least amount of experience, but that doesn't mean you can count her out. She's held gold in Northland. She's held gold in Nickel City Wrestling. She's not a stranger to winning titles.
And Shiloh knows how to be a main character. Heck, even just started a music video recently.
That's not going to help her here today, though.
No, nonetheless, but you know that Shiloh never saw a mirror she didn't like.
She's held gold on her own as well. She holds the Barrie Wrestling Women's Champion. She holds the Hybrid Women's Champion. She knows how to win these kind of matches as well.
And what a way to be a day one person winning the NCCW Women's Championship. And honestly, when you look at the entirety of the tournament, in my opinion, I guess official or unofficial, I think Shiloh may take it all, especially with that DVD.
Brutal.
Hit attempt. And only a 2 count.
And you know, something that I've been thinking about with this is the fact that Boone is still out here. Boone is still ringside for this. And it's interesting because Shiloh was sent back for his match. So it makes me wonder what kind of pull, as I'm saying, what kind of pull does Boone have here in NCCW?
Very, very apropos words there, Summer. The pull of dragging Zondra's throat across these ring ropes, the really high tensile cables across this squared circle.
I'm not sure that Zondra has even recovered from the curb stomp here in the corner into that bottom turnbuckle. She's not even had a chance to breathe since then, but it's essentially a handicap match out here.
And Kyle Boone is stealing Mike Indeed's camera, and I hate to see what we're going to see on social media. Keep your eyes peeled at NCCW and follow along if you haven't done so already.
I fear my feed's going to be filled with Boone's grimy little face, but regardless, this match continues, and Shiloh is just bringing the beating to the young Zondra Lee.
Yeah, we talked about Shiloh not being afraid of a mirror. Kyle's not afraid of a camera. And she is just wearing Zondra down here. Each one of these knees, you know, it's not creative, but it is effective. And sometimes that's all you need in pro wrestling.
Basement drop kick, or basement clothesline 2.
Barely gets that shoulder up.
Zondra needs to make sure that she's able to keep powering through this match and powering out of whatever Shiloh has to throw at her, because if she can't, this is already a 2-on-1 situation. It's already harder to win than it is, or harder to win than it is to lose when you are against two. And this is the kind of hype she needs.
Zondra Lee about to turn it around with a double arm DDT.
I might do it.
One,
No way.
two,
No way.
three.
She did it.
Zondra Lee. Shiloh took.
Thoughts on that match with Shiloh?
Yeah, so it was definitely I mean, it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Jumping me from the start, like little sus. But for what like what we were given, it was definitely there was a lot playing into that for sure. But I had fun with it, and like again, from that match, it led into a triple threat. I was in the main event of that show, in a triple threat with Alexia Nicole and Kingsley. So for the small little, well, not small little, but like it was like 5 minutes, I think, or something like that. I enjoyed like the moment that I did have, and it gave me an opportunity to kind of connect with it in a way for like sympathy with the crowd. So it's kind of like, you don't know me, but I mean, there's 2-on-1. Like, how is that fair? It's kind of, I think it was a good first match where, again, for like the show that it was, where I got the opportunity to then go into a triple threat for the main event. I think my role in that show was a great debut for them. So I was really happy with the show overall. The match itself, with all the complications going into it, I think we both myself, Shiloh, and Kyle pulled off it in a way where you couldn't tell that anything was complexed, you know? So I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Here's a fun fact about me. I've interviewed Shiloh and Boone and Alexa Nicole when there was Crossbody Pro Wrestling in Cambridge. And Alexa, I think, is a terrific wrestler, and she plays the heel perfectly. And Shiloh and Boone are a perfect combination together.
Yes. Alexia, I've only worked her in the triple threat, but the bit that we did, I had so much fun with it. So she's somebody who I would love to have a singles match with one day, for sure.
If you do,
and
let me
then
know.
Shiloh, again, I've worked with her before, so we kind of have like a little bit of chemistry already. But yeah, no, all three of them are great, and like, yes, for sure, they're. I didn't meet them in Crossbody or like see them there, but
I was able to. And that's where I got some of my first media taste, was through Crossbody Pro Wrestling in Cambridge. And a lot of the wrestlers after the matches would let me interview them. So I'm really grateful for that. Yes.
Oh, awesome.
And no matter where I go in this career, I'm always still going to be a fan of wrestling, especially the indie wrestling. And hopefully one day I'll get to see you, the champ, wrestle live. And what do you have there on your desk there?
So this is Northland's, the North Star Championship. So it's really pretty. It has like blue on it. So this is Northland up in North Bay. And then I also have this other cute one with me. This one is for Nickel City in Buffalo. This one, I think it's just as pretty. It has like little gemstones on it and stuff. So these are my two babies. But this one is the one that you can see in Canada because it's Canadian. This one, you're gonna have to, I guess, come to the States to see this one in action. But I think they're both cool, and those are my little babies.
How often are you required to defend your title?
So this one is supposed to, every time they have a show, it's normally every month. I do know they break like 2 months out of the year, but it's this one every month. And then again, same thing with this one. They run almost every month, but they do skip some months. Like sometimes it's every other, but most of the time it's every month. Unfortunately, it's like.
And let's see, Mandog 2026, who's watching on YouTube. I'm excited to follow you in the wrestling world. I wish you the best of success for a long, long time.
Aw, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll take
And that's
all the support I can.
absolutely being a heel as well. And it's funny now, I find heels are sometimes cheered more than the baby faces.
You know, sometimes, yeah, they're just cooler. You know, like me growing up as a kid, I always loved the bad guy. I'm like, you know, you look so much cooler. I love that.
Just with like Jacques Rougeau, he was a baby face originally with his brother Raymond, but when they turned heel as the Fabulous Rougeau brothers, or when he became the Mountie or the Quebecers, I told Jacques I liked you better as a heel than as a baby face.
hmm Yeah, I mean, like it's obviously there's heels that you absolutely despise, and there's faces that are loved beyond like anything you could describe. But like for me as a kid, I thought um with the heels anyways, I not relate to them, but it's like, oh, you look more like somebody who I would like, you know, like just style wise or like things that I would be interested in. So it was like I could relate in a way. So that's why I loved them. But again, I did have my faces that I like obsessed over. But for me, it was always like I was always cheating the heel, like, you know, you go.
As we wrap the show up, Zondra, in a couple of minutes, can you just tell us about some of your upcoming matches and opponents and a little bit about the PCW insurrection on May 23rd?
Yeah, so upcoming matches next week. Next weekend, I have 2 lined up. I'm going to be wrestling in Super Kicked on the Friday in Toronto, and then PCW, and I'm pretty sure it's Quebec. It's like right outside of Quebec, and that's on the Saturday. I don't know opponent for Super Kick, so I can't really say that. Wasn't told yet. And then PCW is somebody I've never met before. I've never even heard of her. She's like French. I don't know, so I'm sorry I can't pronounce the name. But it is on socials with PCW, so Premiere. And then again with GPW, that's on the 30th. It's that tag team matchup, and that's the rest that I have for this month. And then next month is just as busy with Nickel City, and then I'm going on a tour actually with what is it? CWE. Sorry, blank. There's so many acronyms. CWE. I'm going on a northern tour with them. It's 11 dates, sorry. So 11 shows in 11 days. So that's next month as well. And then after that, I'll be in North Bay again for this guy. So yeah, keep him busy for sure. So if you can make or are in the area for any of those, it would be Toronto, just outskirts of Ottawa, and then Gatineau, Buffalo, and then all over Ontario. So for the tour especially, there's got to be one you can make. So if you've never seen me wrestle before or have and you want to see me again, come out and see me, you know? Like
Hopefully you'll be in the Kitchener-Waterloo, Guelph, or even London. If you're in London, again, London, Ontario, let me know because I'm about just over an hour from London too.
Okay. Well, I do work for a company out there, Hammerlock. So I'm out there like all the time, like in the London area or like anywhere out in like that London vicinity. So definitely I will try and remember next time I'm out there to let you know.
And finally, what's 3 words to describe Zondra Lee and one fun fact about yourself your fans might not know about you?
So probably I think you asked for 3. I would say the 2 best words is my moniker, the Little Manic. It describes me. I'm not the tallest, but I have a manic attitude in that ring. So there's always unexpected. You're never going to get the same thing twice. Always just a ball of energy, a firecracker in the rain. And then, sorry, there was another question. What was it?
One fun fact about yourself.
Oh, fact. I can be a nerd sometimes, for sure. I absolutely love Star Wars. That is a huge passion of mine. I obsess about those. And dinosaurs. I know more than the average person does about dinosaur facts. So that's like your fun little peek into Zondra Lee's brain. I'm a nerd for certain things.
Who gave you the nickname the Little Maniac?
So it's actually Manic, not Maniac.
Yeah.
So I actually
Oops. Sorry.
So many people mess it up, and then I have to remind. No, it's pronounced this way. So actually, it just came from my music taste because I love rock. I love like heavy metal, anything that had like, I guess, some screaming in it. And there's this one band that I absolutely love listening to called Wage War. And one of their songs is called Manic. And at this point, I've been like going in with like 2 years now with that name, I think. And I was really struggling to playing with like the idea of like who I am and how I want to be portrayed. And then that song came on and I'm like, oh, you know what? I actually really like that. And then every other nickname I had been given was like small or little or child. So I'm like, I came up with the theme myself, and then it just stuck, and then that's how everybody knows me now. It's the Little Manic.
You branding it and marketing that too?
You know what? Maybe. Actually, that's I will have to look into that because
that's big
nowadays. It's not a common thing. You don't hear manic. It's always maniac or wild or some other thing. I've never heard manic before. So I might have to trademark that.
And as we wrap the show up, no problem. That's why they call me the Paul Heyman. I'm always thinking, but hey, no, like I said, I got my start in media through doing indie pro wrestling in Cambridge, like I mentioned, and I'm extremely grateful. And I hope to do some more of it too. So hopefully one day I get to see you guys, you and yourself and your other people, the wrestlers perform, and hopefully I'll be able to do an in-person interview too. Because I love doing the virtual stuff, but there's nothing better than doing in-ring interviews after too.
Absolutely. Yes, it's definitely better one-on-one for sure.
And as we wrap the show up, Man Dog 2026, who's been watching this show on YouTube, thanks, buddy. He says, excellent interview. Thank you for both doing this. It's not the talk show host, buddy. It's the guests that make a great show. And I've been very fortunate with great guests on my show the last 6.5 years.
Well, thank you for giving us a platform to advertise ourselves on.
And finally, this is a new segment called Ask the Host CDP a Question. Do you have a question for me before we wrap the show up?
Me, do I have a question? How did you decide that you wanted to start with, what was the thought process to starting a podcast, I guess?
Getting a taste of volunteering, doing volunteer work with a basketball team. They needed a camera operator. I never done camera work in my life. They showed me what I needed to do the film. After the game, they paid me, and then they referred me to a local TV company. I started doing camera work, which I liked. But then I decided during the pandemic, I was going to start up my own podcast show, and that's led to 3 shows plus being on radio. And I started up my own media company, CDP Media Productions. And some of my early media opportunities were from Crossbody Pro Wrestling with Ben Ortmans and people like Shiloh and Boone and also Alexi Nicole, Crystal Moon. I got to do in-person interviews with them after their matches, and I'm extremely grateful. And kind of like I said, I love doing what I'm doing, and also storytelling. You do storytelling in a ring, I do it on a screen or in person. So we're both storytellers in certain ways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I never really knew how people got into it, so that makes a lot of sense getting in with crimers. That's cool. That's awesome for you.
And as we wrap the show up, I wanted to ask you this too, Zondra. If you were having a match with me, what kind of a promo would you cut for an opponent, let's say, like myself?
Ooh. Well, if I can play the character I want, mm, it wouldn't be nice. I'm gonna say that right now. I would probably, yeah, I would tell you to get back into the crowd because you don't belong in the ring with me. You know, you're behind the barricade watching me. So I don't know how hard you bumped your head to make you think you belong in here with me, but we need to fix that quick because the concussion I'm gonna give you, you're not gonna bounce back quick from it.
And
Something like
I assume you'd give me the DDT move.
that. I may have to start calling it that, honestly. But yes, that's the hit
I
you with
grew
the
up
knee first and then right on your head.
I grew up with that move, the DDT, with Jake the Snake Roberts. To this day, he did the DDT the best in my way. I think you should do the $1 million sleeper, Ted DiBiase's $1 million sleeper.
Ooh. You know what? I actually like that. You know what? I'm
Honestly,
gonna pull it out one day and I'll just be like, Chris told me to do this.
I could actually see you doing that.
Just like look right in the camera, get that shot, and then tag you in it.
The $1 million Zonda. And so no, hey, like I said, and I can tell how passionate you are. And whatever you do in life, wrestling, media work, whatever career, you have to have that passion. And if you lose that passion, then it might be time to move on to something else. But hey, I want to say thank you so much for giving us over an hour of your time, coming back on my show for a second time. And I'm going to be talking to Jacques as well. And if I can't get down to Gatineau, Quebec, I'm going to purchase a ticket. And if you know somebody that would like to go, and they can't afford to go, please, I would like to share a ticket with somebody who would like to go to this event too.
Okay, well, that's sweet of you for sure. But I do hope that you can make it out for sure because it would be awesome to actually meet you in person.
Yes, and get your autograph too, because honestly, you're gonna be in WWE, AEW in the future. It's just a matter of time. Just continue to do what you're doing, keep improving, keep working hard, and just keep showing passion for what you do.
Oh, well, thank you. That honestly means a lot. So thank you so much for that.
And finally, where can our audience follow you again on social media and best way of contacting you directly?
Yeah, so social media on Instagram, it's Zondra Lee _wrestling. Facebook, you just look up Zondra Lee. It should be the first one that pops up. My X account is for some reason not linking the best, but it is also Zondra Lee as well. There's not much on there because I'm having technical difficulties with that one. It keeps like resetting and then I lose everything. So probably not the best one, but Instagram, always the best way to message me would be Instagram or at my email, zondralee83@gmail.com. But definitely Instagram because Facebook, the messages get so piled up. Like Messenger, I lose stuff in there all the time. So Instagram, if you want to direct message me, that would be the best place to go.
And maybe one day you'll have your own website too, possibly.
You know, someday, that's what I want.
It's a work-life balance too. And being a pro wrestler, you do a lot of traveling and it's not an easy road for you either. So
You do, yes. But you learn on the job, you juggle it and then see what sticks.
absolutely. And I was going to say, give me a little bit of time tonight and I will send you the video, the audio, and some reels and clips as well.
Okay,
And
awesome. Sounds good.
And hopefully we see you one day live in person, but just be nice to me.
Okay, I will do my best too.
Well,
I'm sure I will.
okay. All right. Well, good luck in your next match on May 23rd and also at Civil War in Gatineau, Quebec on May 30th at the Slush Puppy Center. And please check out Gatineau Pro Wrestling as well as Northlands Wrestling as well. Zondra, thank you so much for doing this and continue success in the ring and keep being yourself. And hopefully we can have you back on the show again in the future for a third time and maybe have some more championship belts around your waist.
I'm going to hang them up on a wall next time just so you can see them all.
That is awesome. So I'm so happy for you. Can continue success and we'll talk to you soon, Zondra.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, everyone, that wraps up season 13, episode 49, overall 709 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership. I do have another announcement to make. The next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at barrycullen.com, is going to be on Monday, May 18th, Victoria Day holiday here in Canada at 1 p.m. Eastern with special guest Morgan Parrish. She's an anchor reporter with Fox 29 in Philadelphia. We're going to talk to Morgan Parrish about the latest news and stories she's doing for Good Day Philadelphia on Fox 29. And Morgan is a huge sports fan. And we're going to talk to Morgan a little bit about the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Philadelphia Flyers. Both the Flyers and Sixers were swept out of the second round. And we're also looking forward to the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles season as well. So if you're a fan of Philly sports and Morgan Parrish, please check out Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show again on Monday, May 18th, Victoria Day holiday here in Canada at 1 p.m. with Morgan Parrish, who will be coming on our show for the fourth time. And I want to say thank you again to Zondra Lee, two-time wrestling champion. You can also follow her on northlandwrestling.com, and she's also on Instagram as Zondra Lee Wrestling, Zondra Lee _wrestling, and she is on X.com, I believe, Zondra_Lee. But I think your best bet is with Facebook and Instagram, and also you can check out Northland Wrestling out of North Bay as well. And again, she's a two-time North Star Wrestling champion and a Nickel City champion in Buffalo. So she wrestles in Canada and also over in the States as well. So hopefully one day she'll have her own website, but I want to say thank you so much to Zondra Lee, and she is going to be a future WWE superstar. You can quote me on this on Friday, May 15th, 2026 at 8 p.m. 11 p.m. Eastern as well. Before we wrap up the show, guys, again, our show is brought to you by the folks at Barry Cullen Chevrolet. And right now, an adventure starts with an EV health check package at Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Each package for EV vehicles includes a complimentary barbecue utensil, includes a 12-volt battery condition check, a 70-point vehicle health check, tire rotation, underbody wash for only $239.99 for cars and trucks. More details at barrycullen.com or call the dealership at 519-824-0210. This offer ends on May 31st, 2026. Again, it offer ends on May 31st, 2026. And as we wrap up this show, guys, again, if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society, located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals and pets that are up for adoption, their profiles and pictures are on cambridgehumanesociety.org. Michelle and her staff do a great job in looking after our homeless furry friends and making sure they're adopted into good families and good homes. And again, at the Cambridge District Humane Society, you can't buy happiness, but you can adopt it. And they do a wonderful job down there. And yours truly, CDP, walks dogs down there twice a week as a dog walker and fundraiser as well. So if you're looking to volunteer, go to cambridgehumanesociety.org and fill out a volunteer application form through their website. And finally, guys, you can check out my website. You can find me everywhere through my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. And again, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, and Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and wherever podcasts are available. And if you're a business and company and you're looking to advertise on my platform, I'm on 21 platforms, you can email me at cpalme19@gmail.com or DM me on my social media pages. My prices are very reasonable and fair and competitive, and I look forward to working with you and your company in advertising on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. Again, thank you so much to two-time wrestling champion Zondra Lee for coming on here. and continued success in her career. And this wraps up my third show in the last 24 hours. So I want to say thank you to the audience and to Man Dog 2026 on YouTube for your great questions. And thank you to my audience on my audio platforms as well. I've reached over 12,000 streaming. I'm going to reword this. I've reached over 12,000 downloads in StreamYard, 12,000 downloads on Spotify. Downloads and listens on Spotify. See, even the veterans like myself, we do make mistakes. So it's just amazing how many people have listened to the show or watch it on live stream as well. So it's the guests that make a great talk show as well. And that is about it, guys. Again, thank you to Zondra Lee for coming on, and to you, the audience watching or listening. And again, a big thanks to Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph for being a sponsor advertiser of this show. And I'm hoping to get some more businesses and companies come aboard live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show as well. As we wrap the show up, guys, the Argo Balance podcast show with Nick Small and myself is back. We did our season 5, episode 1 last night. So check out the Argo Balance podcast show on all platforms. And I will be back at Alumni Stadium in the University of Guelph this Sunday for Argonauts training camp. And make sure you check out my couple of interviews I did with Isaiah Smith and Cameron Judge of the Toronto Argonauts. Those interviews are both available on my YouTube channel. Chris Pame, Live with CDP Talk Show on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and share. And we got NBA action tonight, Game 6. Pistons, Cavaliers. Cleveland's up 3-2. Pistons need a win or they are going home for the season as well. And the Jays and Tigers are playing, and the Jays are up 2-0 in the 4th inning on the Detroit Tigers. Again, thank you to Zondra Lee and to everyone for watching and listening to this show. And again, to Barry Cullen Chevrolet. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday, May 18th, Victoria Day holiday here in Canada, 1 p.m. with Morgan Parrish from Fox 29 News in Philadelphia. Have a great long weekend, everybody. Happy Victoria Day.